Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I go by the name Damilola, but you can call me that fresh. And I welcome you to Design Chats. Design Chats is a bi-weekly webinar that holds here on the Design Beyond Art community. Design Beyond Art community is a community of designers helping designers grow. We basically teach design from problem solving perspective by preaching the idea of design beyond the surface of art. And on tonight's edition of Design Chat, we are going to be talking about an important topic, a very important topic at that, which is how to position yourself for job opportunities. How to position yourself for job opportunities. Every designer needs to know that for every designer there is a job, there's an opportunity for you, especially in today's economy. We are operating a digital economy, and our skill, your expertise, everything that we have is needed for any business to thrive in this time that we are right now. So, which means there is an abundance of opportunity for each and every designer. So, which brings us to the need for us to learn how to position ourselves properly for these amazing opportunities. So, our guest for tonight's edition is he is a seasoned speaker, a teacher, a mentor with a sole passion of impacting lives positively, one person at a time. He is a professional web designer, a programmer, graphic artist, brand consultant, UI UX professional, digital marketing consultant, training instructor, and multimedia guru who has been in this field for over a decade and a half. He founded companies and initiatives which include Ace Creative Academy, Ace Creative Community, Drive Conference, and DriveHub.ng, to mention a few. And he is currently the print production manager of Extreme Ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome Mr. Ademola Adeogun.
Welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Happy to have
You're
you.
welcome, sir. Thank you very much for
You're
showing up,
welcome.
sir. We really do appreciate you honoring the invite. We do not take it for granted. Thank you very much, sir. Um, I have tried to touch on your profile briefly, and if there are one or two things that you would still like us to know about you before before we proceed deeply into the business of tonight, kindly take the floor and share with us, sir.
So first and foremost, I'd like to thank the community for inviting me for this amazing event. I usually don't take events like this for granted. An opportunity where I have a privilege to speak with fellow colleagues in the industry. And I just basically want to say thank you so much. It's a privilege to be here at whatever level in which you are in your creative and tech industry, because both industry are a bit close. I would like to say that this is an event that is basically what for you. So first and foremost, like I said earlier on, thank you so much for inviting me. I really appreciate the opportunity once again, and I really basically do not take it for granted. All right, so we're going to be having an amazing time right now. All right, great. So, like I said earlier on, my name is Demola Adeogun. I'm a man of many colors. I've been privileged over the years to be able to work in various capacity in the creative and tech ecosystem. I've been able to work as a brand consultant, art director, web designer, front-end developer, digital marketing professional, and a whole lot of other things that was listed in my profile now. And I've been also be able to work as a freelancer. I've been able to work as an entrepreneur, and also I've been privileged to work with various clientele, both federal government, state, private individual startups, both locally and internationally. I've been in the industry for since 2003, basically, and it's been a privilege to work in this amazing industry. Now, I've also been privileged to also work in various organizations, even currently as we speak right now. So that's why, to me, this particular topic really cuts deep for me. And beyond that, I actually have a creative and tech community just like yours, like that first mentioned, which is creative academic community. And one of the things that I discovered that based on my experience of working in community is that sometimes it's not that creative and tech professionals don't have the required skills, but they basically don't know how to position themselves. So that's why topics and conversations like this are always very crucial and very important for creative and tech professionals. So it's not just all about having the required skills to be able to thrive in this industry as a designer, but you must understand how to position yourself in the what creative industry. All right, so I'm just going to be sharing my screen briefly, and I'm just going to run it through some slides. I usually I'm always very comfortable with speaking um, um, without slides, but in recent time I've learned to start using slides so that it will basically guide me in the conversation that I basically um, I basically want to share. So that's why I'm using the slide. So if you see me doing a little bit of going off script, please just bear with me. That's how comfortable I am based on the particular need at the moment. All right. So as a creative and tech professional, the first thing that we basically need to understand is that a lot has basically changed. A lot has changed basically what post pandemic. A lot has changed what post pandemic. Post pandemic, there has been what an increase in demand for creatives. Organizations and companies have realized that an important need for digital infrastructure and footprints. Organizations now pay more attention to their brand and marketing communication departments, and not just paying more attention, they are basically investing more in these departments. So meaning that what there have been a need for what creative professionals, graphic artists, web designers, web developers, UI UX professionals, copywriters, content developers, the increase actually basically increased post pandemic. Now, the reason why this happened basically is that what before the pandemic, a lot of companies actually did not pay more attention into marketing, they didn't pay more attention into digital content. But post-pandemic, there was a huge rise in the need for what these particular what soft skills, this particular what skill sets. So organizations are now beginning to pay more attention. A lot of you can basically agree with me that immediately after the pandemic, the increase of what social media managers also basically what increased. The need for creating what more webinar content, creating what more digital assets, basically what increased. Organizations began to what pay more attention in their brand and communication what assets, basically, meaning they realize that what not just having a physical presence is important. They also understood the fact that what having an online and digital footprint is basically what's much more important. Now, we all know that no digital and brand marketing campaign can survive without a copywriter, a brand strategist, an art director, or designer. No web design campaign or social media campaign can survive without what a web designer, a social media manager, an SEO manager, or a graphic artist. So there is now a growing demand what for designers. There's a growing demand what for creative professionals in the job opportunity, or sorry, in the job market. So the question right now is, do we have enough creative to fill these needs? The big answer is what? No, we don't. And you and I can basically what agree with me. Now, some of you can say, Mr. Demola, what do you mean? That as a creative professional, I'm looking for that job. I'm looking for that big gig. Those jobs are basically what's not coming. As a freelancer, I'm looking for that job. I'm looking for that big gig. Those things are what's not coming. But to be sincere and to be practical to you, there is an increased need in the job market. There's an increased need in the freelance market, and you get what I'm saying right now, and there are not enough creatives in it. One thing that basically happened during the pandemic is that what we have always said that the world has become what a global village. But I want to assure you that what the pandemic did is that it made it not just become what a global village, but it made it what we call what a global what community. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? As a graphic artist, you are no longer contending with if you're a graphic artist based in Abuja or a graphic artist based in Lagos. You're no longer competing with a graphic artist in Port Harcourt. You're no longer competing with a graphic artist in Ibadan. You're no longer competing with a UI UX designer in Abeokuta. No, you are competing with what a graphic artist was in China, in India, in Singapore. That is what the reality of what the pandemic has what's created for us. So when I say that, what do we have what needs for that need to fill in that vacuum? I'm talking about from the global perspective. Beyond even the global perspective, even in the local perspective, those problems what are also there. So the question right now is that how do you now, as a creative and tech professionals, basically what position yourself for the creative industry, knowing fully well that there's a problem, knowing that what the problem that we have right now is that we're beginning to have what limited qualified creative and tech professionals that are qualified what for those responsibility. Are you getting me now? The demand became what increased. The demand in the demand for what designs began to what increase. Never before in for people that do what trainings have there been more demand what in our industry than what we have what basically what now post pandemic. So the question right now is as a designer, how do I position myself strategically for what job opportunities, both career wise or as a freelancer? How do you position yourself what strategically? The first thing you need to understand is that what it is what a journey. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? It is what a journey. Now the problem I've realized with young creatives and tech professionals, because I asked Mr. Dafresh that in your community, what are the demography of people that we have there? And he told me that we have a lot of young designers. I know some people that are joining in outside the community. Some of you are more professional designers. But I want to first address something very key and very crucial in this webinar. You need to understand the fact that what it is what a journey. Are you getting me? Meaning that what as a creative professional, you are what on a what journey. So for someone like me, I've been in the industry for over 14 years. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? Meaning that what I've acquired some particular skill sets over the years. I've acquired some particular what job experience over the years. Do you get what I'm saying right now? But if you're a creative professional, you're just starting at the beginning, you shouldn't get intimidated by experienced designers. You need to understand the fact that what it is what a journey. But with the technology and the insight and the knowledge, because of the fact that we're in the knowledge age that is available what's in our industry or in our space or in the world today, your journey can be what's faster. So don't get agitated, don't get disappointed when you scroll on Instagram and you see those fantastic design and you now be like, why me? When will it be me? And you get to trying and know that what it is what a journey. Stay what on your journey. Focus what on your journey. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? Now remember I explained to you earlier on that I run a community and I see that what sometimes a young designer that has just been in the industry for just 3 months, he's still learning. He is still learning. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? And we're going to post a job opportunity in a bank where they're going to be paying over 300,000 naira, and the young designer will be applying for that kind of job. Are you getting me? And I'll sincerely tell the young designer that, brother, you're not qualified for this job, not because of the fact that what is not only qualified in the area of experience, because in our industry we don't look at experience, we look at what you can do. But when I see his portfolio, I see that what his portfolio cannot match the portfolio of what the bank needs. So when I say understand your journey, I'm not saying the fact that what a designer in 3 months cannot work in a bank. What I'm saying is that a designer in 3 months might not have the required portfolio that can handle what a bank can do. 3 months is too small. That's your first time in the industry. You are still learning. If there's any position you should be trying to get, it's an internship position so that you can gather what some experience. Do you get what I'm saying right now? And when the person shares his portfolio, I'm like, okay, there's a lot of things you still understand. You still need to understand about design. You don't understand alignment. You don't understand a lot of things. Or UI UX professional or web designer. Your design interface is not responsive. Do you get what I'm saying right now? So I try to explain to you that there's a lot of things you need to catch up. There's a lot of things you need to understand in the area of what experience. Do you get to me now? So understand your journey. Be sincere with yourself. Are you getting me now? There's a place of faith, but don't start applying faith in scenarios that is not practical. Are you getting me? I've been embarrassed when we give young designers access. I mean, we drop in their comments and submit a job, and I call the employee, and the employee was like, All the people that basically apply are not qualified. And by the time I check some of those portfolios, I'm like, are you kidding me? This person is not supposed to apply for this kind of job. You know, Nigerians, we believe that what anything can happen, it cannot happen. Your design is not good enough yet. Do you get me now? So that's what I mean. I need you to address that. Understand your journey. Tell yourself the truth. Understand your learning curve. Are you getting me? Okay, this particular job needs was social media manager. They need 2 years experience. They need 3 years experience. You've researched the company. You realize that this company is a startup, not a bank, an existing Nigerian bank. Are you getting me? Or a company in the UK, you've researched them, you discover that okay, it's a startup company, you've seen their social media handle, the kind of designs on their social media handle. I'm throwing a lot of things, so please let's take note. The designs on their social media handle are the designs that you can achieve. You've seen it. There are things that are practical that what you can achieve. You've checked out their web design. As a web designer, you've seen that what their website is something that you can manage. You've checked, you've done the research of the company, and you've seen those things. Then you can what apply. But if you see that what this job is above my niche, understand that, tell yourself the truth that I can that let me, instead of me trying to apply and embarrass myself, there's no point doing that. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? So don't say I've submitted my one young designer accosted me once and it was like, Mr. Demola, all the CVs that we have sent, nobody has gotten back to us. And I told him send me your portfolio. And when he sent me his portfolio, I understood why nobody's getting back to him. Do you understand what I'm saying right now? So understand what your journey. Do you get what I'm saying right now? So when you have 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, are you getting me now? And you see that what your design does not match up. Now there's a place of imposter syndrome where you feel you just feel you're not good enough. No, it happens to all designers, even people like us. We still feel we're not good enough with all our experience. No, that's a different case scenario entirely. But I'm saying a case scenario of I know where I am. I know that I'm still learning. I need to be an intern to gather some experience. So when I'm applying for some job, I'm applying for an internship. I've done the research in this company, and this company is more of a startup. So it's a company that I can grow with to gather the experience that I need. Then I'm going to apply for that kind of job. So always tell yourself the truth. I've checked it. I've seen the kind of years of experience they're requiring, and it's something I can apply. Do you get what I'm saying right now? So do that. So understand your journey. It's very key. It's very crucial. So that's step number one. Step number two is understand what we call what your career path. Understand what we call what your career path. Understand what we call what your career path. Now, one thing I've realized about designers is that what because they jump into the industry without understanding where they're coming from or where they're going to. Always have a vision. A vision is a clear picture of what of your future. Are you getting me? When you have a clear picture of your future, you'll now be able to what set what goals. Goals are step by step what tasks that you have created on yourself to accomplish what your vision. Do you get what I'm saying right now? So let me give an example. I want to become what one of the best graphic artists in Nigeria, or one of the most sought after graphic artists in Nigeria. That is a vision. So what are the various career paths that you have? So you can first start what as a graphic artist who is a freelancer, meaning that what so if you're let's say for example you're working in a particular organization at the moment, probably like an admin manager, but you want to come into design. You can start working as a designer. You can first start as a freelancer basically. Then as a freelancer, you can know you can start working probably as a PP. You understand what I'm saying? Or as a student, when you finish from university and you have a vacuum of period where you are not seeking for a job, you can start what's doing PPs for people. So that's a personal project. Do you get what I'm saying right now? But you've understood your career path. That my vision is to be an art director working in an agency, or my vision is to have what a design company. So you know those career paths. Now for those career paths, you now see that how can I get those things? If it's to be an art director in an agency, you will go online, Google what art director job description. When you Google it, you get what job description of what an art director is. What is required of an art director? Google art director. Hope you guys are taking notes. Answer me, are you taking
Hope you
notes?
guys are taking notes.
Because I'm dropping some things here. Google
Don't
art
use your mic,
director.
Yes, yes.
please.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Google
hold
art
on,
director.
sir. Sorry, sir.
Yes,
Please,
I'm with you.
guys. When we have a guest that is giving presentation like this, we always urge you guys to not use your microphone so that you don't interrupt him or interject his thought process, right? So, if you have any contribution or any response to whatever he's saying, please, there is a chat column where you can always um have conversations with everyone in the call, including the speaker. So I just wanted to put that there. Please let
All right.
us know. Are you feeling the class? Are you learning something valuable? Drop it in
All
the
right.
in this in the chat column, please.
Okay. So are you with me? So please, so you need to understand that. So please, like I said, I drop more when I freestyle. You get, so if you don't see some things in my presentation, you have to take notes. Are you getting me now? So for you to understand your what, hey, there's a typographical error in my career part, please. I wrote cater part. Sugar.
You are forgiven, sir.
Usually my wife proofreads my presentation, but she proofread only the first sections.
Yeah,
She's more linguistic than I am. I'm a creative
I know, right?
guy. All right. So having said so, so you Google, so you have a clear picture of your vision. So your vision is I want to become an art director. You get in the next 5 Google, what does it take to be an art director? What is required for an art director? Everything of those things is on Google. You Google art director, what's JD? Please write that down. Art director job description. If you've not done that, please do that. You Google what graphic artist job descriptions. It's on LinkedIn. See those job descriptions. Are you getting it? Now, when you get those job descriptions, Google it down. Now, in those job descriptions, you'll see the necessary requirements. So, for example, as an internship, do companies pay? Yes, company pays interns. Some companies pay, not all. All right. So, we're going to go. I'll attend to all these questions later. You understand? So, Google what we call what job what descriptions. Do you get what I'm saying right now? When you Google those job descriptions, you will see where you need to go to. So, as a graphic artist, these are the things that you need to learn. You need to learn Corel Draw, right? These are the softwares that I require. Photoshop, InDesign, Adobe Illustrator. Are you getting me now? And knowing a UI UX software like Adobe XD or Figma will be what an added advantage. I'm going to go there right now. So when you check the job description, you will see the basic what requirements. Now you've understood where you are going to. I want to be an art director. I want to be what the leading graphic artist. These are the things I need to know. The next step you have to take is how can I learn this? You can either go to an academy or you can learn online. You have beautiful online websites like Coursera, and the mother of them all is YouTube. You can learn those things. You can get a mentor. So you have to understand what's your career path, where I am right now, where am I going to. That's what I meant at the beginning, that it's a journey. Trust me, we're all still learning. There are some softwares I'm learning. There are some trainings I've already paid for that I've not done in the last 3 months. I've paid in Udemy. So that's another training software that I've not learned in the last 6 months. So because our industry is an evolving industry, that if we don't, this is the only industry that you don't need, you don't you don't necessarily need a degree to what to be outstanding in the industry. Though some job requirement requires a degree, but even without a degree, you can survive what as a creative professional. It's the only industry that we don't say what you have to have a first class degree. Once you are good, they will apply you. It's a function of what can you do. Do you understand what I'm saying right now? So having said that, you need to understand what your career path. What are my career paths? As a graphic artist, do I want to start what as just designing branding, logo designs? Do you get what I'm saying right now? Flyers. From there, I want to move into what motion graphics. From motion graphics, I want to move into what UI UX. So you've sat down and you have plotted out what your career path is in the next 3 years. You have highlighted the various software. So meaning in graphic design, I've told you you need to learn Corel Draw, Photoshop, InDesign, and Adobe Illustrator. So you've highlighted what, okay, in 3 months I'm going to learn this, in this month I'm going to learn this. Then we have known Corel Draw and Photoshop very well. You can now aggravate or migrate to the what next level. Web designers too, you can start with what HTML, CSS, JavaScript. From there you can move to what we call what you can move to what WordPress. From WordPress you can now start with back end. So you need to understand what your career path. If you're a UI UX professional, you can take what we call what Google UI UX training course. When you're done right now, you understand how to use what Figma. From Figma, you can move to what how to use what Adobe XD. From Adobe XD, you can understand how to use what InVision. Because some job descriptions, they all have what various softwares that what they work with, but you know it all will make you what a little bit vast. UI UX means what users experience and users design. Do you understand me now? So you need to what know your career path. It is very, very important. So having said that, the next thing you need to understand is what yourself. Yourself. What do you want to achieve? Are you getting? Usually, whenever I meet young creative professionals, I always ask them, what do you want to achieve? What objective do you want to achieve in this job? So when some creative professional comes to my meeting, I tell them that what, and they say I want to be an entrepreneur. I tell them, and I analyze them, and I sit them down, and we talk. I get to know that what, see, entrepreneurship is not for you. Freelancing is not for you. Go and get a job. Do you get what I'm saying right now? So you need to understand yourself. What do you like doing? People have come to me and they said they want to learn graphic design, and after I interview them, I say, go to UI UX. So what's your passion? What's your creativity level? Do you like writing? Do you like designing? Do you think in pictures? Are you getting what I'm saying right now? When I was young, I could know people by their faces. And those are some of the things that made me know where I need to be. Do you get? I have a very sharp pictorial mind. When I see an image right now, if I can get where that image is in 10 years' time because it's still in my mind. Do you get what I'm saying right now? So you need to understand what yourself. It's very important. And tell yourself the truth. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? Based on where you are. You understand me now? If you're somebody that you're the breadwinner of what your family, don't go and freelance. Do you get me now? Get a job. You understand? So understand what we call where you are. Understand what your passion is. Understand where you're going to. Understand what in the area of finance where you are. Then work towards where you ought to be. So that's what is what's key and what's very important. Now the next one is being intentional. Now the problem with most creative professionals and most designers is that because design is creativity. Are you getting me? And creativity is spiritual. If you don't believe it, get it. When you create from either something existing or something that is not existing. But usually we always create from something existing. God is one has done from something not existing. You understand? So the power of creativity is a supernatural ability. You get the ability for you to conceptualize. It's supernatural. It's inspirational. So because it's creativity and it's natural, a lot of us are not intentional in the area of the business of design. Are you getting me? We are always concerned about the skills and thinking as a designer. We don't think about the business as a design. Even musicians don't do that. You discover musicians that excel and thrive the most, like Jay-Z, Pharrell Williams, and other musicians are people that they understand the business of design. Creative professionals are usually very terrible when it comes to business. Are you getting me? I said those are are intentional. So you need to be intentional. That's why when you ask a designer, are you getting me now? That when last did you post on social media? They'll be like, oh, I don't have time. And if you ask that designer designed in the last one month that he has not posted over 50 designs. So you have to be intentional. If you ask designers at your Behance page, now Behance is the portfolio website. Google it, behance.net, behance.net is the portfolio website where designers post their job. If you ask designers, have you updated your Behance website? They'll tell you the page, they'll tell you no. The last time I updated was 2 years ago. Trust me, I'm also in that WhatsApp group. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? So creative, we are more concerned about our skills, how to get better, how to get inspiration, the design thinking aspect, that we don't always think the business side. Do you get me? When you ask a designer, when last did you update your CV? When last did you update your portfolio? They can't remember. Because we strive on the spiritual aspect, on the inspirational aspect, on the creative aspect. We try more in that to get functional daily, that we don't focus on the design aspect. When last did you, for freelancers, when last did you review your rate card? Are you getting what I'm saying right now? So you have to be, when last did you read a book on branding? When last did you read a book on business? So you have to be intentional about your career, to position yourself, about your positioning yourself. Are you getting me? Now, in being intentional has also to do your social media, your brand. What's your digital footprint? When I search for, let me get various people's names that we have here. When I search for Indu, what do I see online? Are you getting me now? What's on your Instagram handle? Is your Instagram handle you taking selfies with your friend hanging out on the beach? There's a problem somewhere. Your Instagram handle should be your primary digital portfolio. Even if you have a personal Instagram handle and you want to put personal things there, you should have what we call a portfolio digital Instagram handle. So you have to be intentional. You have to have what we call online digital footprint. Now the online digital footprint has to be your Facebook page, your Facebook account, your Instagram account. Your Instagram account has to be your primary purpose. Now I'm not saying that you should not have an Instagram account for your personal self. Even if you want to do that, also have for your works. In fact, I would advise that your personal Instagram handle should be your work Instagram handle. Do you get what I'm saying right now? Are you getting? So what's your brand? What's online? So be intentional. Why? Because when you go to apply for that job, the first thing they do when you're walking out of the interview is that what they go online to search you out. And when they go online to search you out and they check your digital footprint on Instagram, they can't see your work. There's a problem somewhere. They search you out on LinkedIn. They can't see anything they can't see you being deliberate in your LinkedIn account. There's a problem somewhere. So as a graphic artist or a designer or a web designer or a UI UX professional, you have to sit down. If it's going to take you, if it's going to take you 1 week to do that, be intentional. Sit down with your Instagram account. Delete those unnecessary jargons that makes no sense. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? Sit down with your LinkedIn account. Take time to build it. You might ask me that, Mr. Demola, how do I build my LinkedIn account? It's very simple. All those people you look up to in the creative and tech industry as mentors and role models, both locally and internationally, go and check their LinkedIn accounts. Are you getting? Are you getting? When you check in their LinkedIn account and you see how they have positioned themselves, it will help you. Your LinkedIn status profile should be something like I am a multidisciplinary creative professional, or I'm a design thinker that solves design problems, or I'm a brand consultant that solves brand solutions. Those are the things I should first see when I land to your LinkedIn account. Then I'll now see your years of experience. You should post your works on your LinkedIn account. So you have to be intentional. On Instagram, they also ask about consistency. When I go on your Instagram account, it should be consistent with my Facebook, my LinkedIn account. You have to have a brand. Are you with me? That's what we call being intentional. Then you also have to have a digital footprint when it comes to portfolio. So the portfolio, one of the most standard portfolio accounts that we have is Behance.net. Go and create an account on Behance. Look at other creative professionals. It's a global village. Now, the reason why I'm not creating any formats for us is that, like I said earlier on, you're not competing with Mr. Demola in Nigeria. You're competing with Chris Do in the US. You're competing with Ling Chong Yu in China, in Japan, for that freelance job abroad, or for that remote job in UK. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? So when you want to create a digital asset, you have to go on Behance and see how other creative directors, art directors, graphic artists like you have theirs. Then model your portfolio to that level. Go and see some of your works that also meet that criteria. If you don't have, intentionally design ones that you can upload on Behance.net. So such that when you're posting your CV has your link to your portfolio. Why? Because in our industry, we ask for two things during job interviews. We ask for number one, let me see your CV. And your CV can be simple or can be very complicated. My CV is just a 2-page CV that is just black and white. No words, no design. If you want to make it design, you can do that. I'll try to see if I can share my CV with you on screen if there's time. Are you getting me? Now, the next thing that you have to also build what we call your portfolio. Now, your portfolio should be a digital portfolio on Behance. Then the second one should be a portfolio, a physical portfolio, which is going to be on PDF. So you can take your time to use Illustrator, Photoshop, or CorelDRAW to do that. Are you getting me? Which takes us to the next slide, which is build your profile or portfolio. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? Now, when I mean profile, I mean your online profile and your portfolio. Are you getting? If you're getting me, say yes on the group. I was given just 1 hour to handle this
Say
session, so I'm
yes
trying
if you are
to
getting it.
ensure that
Kindly indicate if you are getting it.
I am in that basically following that basic 1
Kindly
hour that I
indicate
was given.
if you are getting the teachings.
All right.
Yeah, we are getting it, sir. Cool.
All right. So I'm basically going to share the portfolio of one of my protoges right now. Let me quickly do that. Let me stop sharing what I'm sharing at the moment. And let me just share an example of the portfolio of one of my protoges, basically. Okay, so I think this would work. Please, if you can see my screen, let me know. Can you see my screen?
No, I know.
Yeah, it's
Can
coming
you
up
see
All right,
me?
now.
1 minute.
It's
It's
already
coming up.
coming up.
All right.
Yeah, we can see it now.
So just let me know if it's coming up.
We can see it now.
All right. So what can you see, please?
We can see the portfolio exactly, the front page.
All right. Okay. So let me just go to the next page. The next. All right. So he kept the CV in his portfolio. Very simple. Just a two-page CV. Then the first thing he did, I'm just showing you guys examples of a good portfolio, was that
Mm-hmm.
what he shows is the various logos he has worked on. Can you all see this? Right? So from logo collections, he moved to the negative spacing version of some of his other logos. Are you getting me? Then he went into the various brand identity as well. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Then it showed some of the brand identity, what we call what blueprint, right? So these are examples of some portfolios. So you can see what. So some of you might be like, okay, Mr. Demola, I've not done a branding that has to do with what cars. Take some of the brand you've done and what create various mock-ups for them, because people appreciate what they see more. So if you don't have a portfolio like this, the reason I'm showing you when we are talking about portfolio, this is what we mean. Are you getting me? This is what we are looking for. If you have a digital portfolio like this, the possibility of you getting works is there. Are you getting me? He definitely has not worked for Rolex before, but he created something for Rolex. So you can create a solution for yourself. You can create a brief for yourself. Are you getting me? That will solve some of these problems. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a brief that you have done before. Why? Because it's your portfolio that will speak for you. Two things that will speak for you when you are submitting your CV is your portfolio and what your CV. Your CV should be as brief as possible. But remember, I told you guys earlier on that one of the main things we are looking for in our industry is what can you do? Are you getting me? Hope you guys are seeing the slides. I'm just taking them slowly and slowly and slowly so we can all see it and experience it. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? So, as a creative professional, you need to have what we call what a portfolio that is what this good. Take your time, sit down with some of your works. If you don't have enough works, try and create other works that can basically what achieve this. But you need to what have a what portfolio. I remember a time that we posted a job opportunity and someone chatted me up for that job opportunity. I'm qualified. I was like, share me your portfolio. He said, I don't have a portfolio. As a creative professional, you should want to have what a portfolio. When I'm talking of a portfolio, this is an example of what we call what a very what good what portfolio. Are you with me, guys? Are you with me? So
Very
please,
well,
you
sir.
have to be what very what intentional. You have to be what very what
You
intentional.
have to be
You have,
intentional.
yeah, you have to be what very intentional. So now I'm gonna switch back to my previous slides so that I can what basically what round up my session. So in my session, I'll be able to highlight the importance for you to. I'm trying to switch my previous slide. In my slide, I'll be able to emphasize the fact that what you need to what create intentionally create what we call what digital footprint, meaning your Instagram account, your LinkedIn account, your Twitter account, everything what has to be what consistent based on what you do. I've also spoken about the fact that what you need to sit down to have what we call what a proper what CV. It's very important because this is what speak what for you. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? Then the next thing I'm going to be speaking about is you need to what network and leverage on what relationships. What do I mean by this? This is very important and very crucial. Why? Because for you to get a job, is your network and your relationship that would help for you. Being in communities like this would help. Because you're in a community like this, where there's any job opportunity is going to be posted there. Go for events. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? Go for events, design events, tech events. That's where you will meet people. You cannot be an island of your own and think the job will come for you. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? You can't be an island of your own and think the job will come to you. Go for events, talk to people. After building your portfolio on LinkedIn, you build your profile on LinkedIn, you've understood yourself, you know your career journey, you know where you are. You need to now what go out, go and meet people, talk to people, tell people what you do, post on social media what you do. When you have a new work, post those new works there. Do you get what I'm saying right now? Designers, we are so much in our shell, believing that we're not good enough. No, the little you know, start pushing it out the best way you can. Leverage on networks, leverage on responsibility, shoot first and ask questions later. on relationship, shoot first and ask questions later. These are the kind of things that what would help you in positioning what yourself. If you don't go for events, no matter how good you are, if nobody knows you, nobody will know how good you are. Are you getting what I'm saying right now? On your Instagram and one of your works, run an advert, 5,000 naira. It won't cost you anything. Are you getting me now? And for those looking for jobs, go on LinkedIn and apply. Take your time to apply. On LinkedIn, you can search for what internship positions in organizations. Go online and apply. Start from somewhere where you know what you need, basically, and you know what you want, how you want to get there. Then go out and what just do it. All right. So at this junction, I believe that my time is up. I had just 35 minutes to give this presentation. I'm going to give room for more questions, so I still have a lot to share, but I would appreciate it that what I'll try to share some of those things during my question and answer moment. Now, another thing I'm going to do is that once you've had your portfolio, you've had your CV, you've built your profile online, like I said earlier on, by the time you apply for a job and they're about to call you for a particular interview, do a research on that particular organization. Go on their Instagram handle, go on their Facebook page, see the kind of designs they do. Think that what is the need of that organization. If you have an internal contact there, ask that internal contact. Go on Glassdoor. It's called just Google Glassdoor. Glassdoor gives various reviews of various companies. Do you get what I'm saying right now? When you go there to tell you what if the company pays very well. If they have terrible bosses there, you would know. Do you get to, don't just jump into a company without doing a proper research of what they want. Whenever I'm going to any organization to research, after going through what's their job requirements, I also do a research on that. One or two companies, the company I'm working for right now, one of the things that made me get that job was because I understood what they need. They didn't just need a print manager, they need a print manager who was also a designer. Are you getting me? And that was some of the things I pushed in the interview, that I focused on in the interview, that made me that stood me out. So you need to have what we call a unique selling point. And as a graphic designer, I know there's a school of thought that what you need to narrow your design to a particular specification. Post-pandemic, most organizations need what we call multidisciplinary design. That might not work for you. You cannot just say I'm a logo designer. My brother, you should be a logo designer that can design for social media, that can manage social media. Are you getting what I'm saying right now?
Mm-hmm.
Do you get?
Mm-hmm.
So the times has changed. We receive applications from organizations. Organizations don't necessarily need just graphic artists again. They need the graphic artists that understand digital marketing. Are you getting me? They need the graphic artists that what can do animation. Do you get me now? So don't just say my specialty is what brand identity. It used to work pre-pandemic, but it might not work effectively like that, except you have what your own business. So I'm not saying that cannot work. Do you get me now? But if you're going to work in an organization is employing you to meet a particular need. So if you don't fit that need in their peg, if you're a square peg that is not fitting their round hole, they will not employ you. Do you get? So
Oh,
do a
okay.
research
So,
and
so
position yourself for that.
all
Thank you
right.
very much.
Okay, so guys, what Mr. Ademola Adeogun is trying to explain to you now is that when you are applying for jobs in organizations, yeah, most organizations want you to have more than one skill. They want you to have more than one skill. They want you to be able to do a couple of things for them. So for you to have better chance of getting hired, yeah, you need to try and be a complete package per se, right? So if you have knowledge of brand identity design, you probably want to have knowledge of motion graphics design. And in my own perspective, in my own view, motion graphics is also part of brand identity design, because brand identity design entails the visual communication of a brand. And if you are trying to communicate a brand, one of the ways to communicate brands effectively is through moving pictures. So, which means all of these things works hand in hand together, right? So, like if even when we are talking about specializing, specializing does not necessarily mean that you stick to one particular thing, right? So what specializing means is that you are known for this particular thing, but there are other things that you can still do. I just wanted to clarify that so that they don't feel confused, because we preach
Oh yeah.
we preach specialization, we preach
Oh no, trust me.
generalization and all
Oh
that.
no,
So
trust me. So trust me. So that was why I started. That what I know there's a school of thought going out there that what you should specialize. And you get what I'm trying now. Specializing is good. So, for example, my core, are you getting me now? My core is what web design. But when you're reading my portfolio, you notice everything they called. And the beauty of everything they called out there is that what I'm the best in my field in everything, in digital
Exactly,
marketing.
and you are
And now take
experienced.
notes. Now take notes. Take notes. I'm the best in my field in all those things because of how many years I've been in the industry. You get what I'm saying right now? So meaning I spent like some years in graphics, then I moved to digital marketing, then I moved to web and all that. But my core, your core has to do with what your passion and what you love doing. Do you get what I'm saying right now? So as much as you are a web designer or you love printing, those are your cores. Also have an idea of every other thing so that when that need come, you will be able to what function in that what capacity. Do you get what I'm
Exactly.
saying right now? Meaning in printing, I can handle printing. I can handle digital marketing very well. I'm also into multimedia. I took a multimedia training 3 hours ago. Are you getting that in the church? Do you understand what I'm saying right now? And I'm here taking on what on creative design. So please specialize. My mentor, his speciality is layout design. If you
Hmm.
give him any book to lay, he can finish it in 1 hour. If you give me a book to lay, I'll finish it in 6 hours. Are you getting what I'm saying right now?
Mm-hmm.
If you give
Yeah.
him a book today, he'll finish it in 1 hour. And my 6 hour book laying will not be as clean as his own.
Hmm.
But he can do logo design, he can do web design. Are you getting me now? He can
Yeah.
print and he can do other things. But I cannot stand near him in web. Sorry, in logo. I'm sorry, in layout design.
Layout
I have
design.
another mentor, he's good in logo. In fact, if you give me and him a logo brief, my logo will be good, but you'll bow to his own. So have what we call what a specialty that people know. Do you get what I'm trying now? Now
Yeah.
have what other general things, especially if you are looking for what job opportunities. Post pandemic, job descriptions has changed. This is what we have observed. If you think I'm lying, go on LinkedIn and look for any creative job. It's usually not always specialized to one thing. It's always either what a graphic artist that can design, or a graphic artist that understands printing, or a graphic artist that can manage a digital marketing. Do you get what I'm saying right now? It's usually always generalized, and you'll be shocked that sometimes when you get the job as a graphic artist, you see yourself doing other things. Do you get? By the time you join the organization. So what I'm just saying right now is that as good as you are in this, try to get other skills based on what I said earlier on. Understanding your journey, looking at what various CVs online,
And
sorry, various job
and
descriptions online that will help you.
that reminds me of I think was it 2016 when I applied for a particular job at a particular business place somewhere around Mushin back then. I applied as a graphic designer and all that, only for me to get there and I was being asked to operate the DI machine, you know. And prior to then I didn't know much about DI, so I had to learn how to operate the DI machine. To be frank with you, I have never had to operate DI machine any elsewhere aside from that place, and the knowledge I got from that place is still with me up till today. And that's just it. That's just so sometimes what you go to do at the in some places is not just that particular skill that you have. There are some extra things that you bring to the table that kind of give you an advantage over other candidates, basically.
Now, remember, I said it's a journey. It's a
Exactly.
creative journey. It's not a destination. The graphic design you are doing right now, the brand identity you are doing right now is not your destination. It's still what's a journey. So keep an open mind, and you get what I'm saying right now, to other opportunities. Because remember, our industry is evolving. We're not talking about NFT. We're not talking about metaverse. Do you get me now? So trust me, you're still going to evolve to be able to be relevant in those fields
I know, right?
shortly. Do you get what I'm saying right now?
3D is
All
it
right.
going to
So
be
do
a
we have
very big thing?
yeah, 3D is going to be a very big thing. Do you get what I'm saying right
Yeah.
now? So
What's
at
it
this
called?
point, I'm going
Someone
to
someone asked
stop
questions. Sorry, what's it
stop
called?
my session for questions.
Would you be able to share the what's it called, the portfolio, the PDF of the portfolio with the community, sir?
So I'll need to ask permission from the owner because
All
he only
right,
gave me
sir.
permission to share it with. I actually literally
Exactly.
called him to share it in my presentation.
All
You know,
right,
I
sir.
wish this was recorded
And
so
what's
I
it
just be
called?
able to see it.
The presentation, the slides too. Would we be able to get that?
Oh no! I'll be sharing that with you.
All
Do you
right,
understand?
sir.
But building portfolios are very simple.
I
Just
know,
go
right?
online, go to Bayans.net. You'll see a lot of good portfolios that
I
you can
know,
actually
right?
copy. All right. Is there a way to have access to the speaker? Oh, come on. It's simple.
Sure,
Just go
definitely.
go
Sure.
online, search for. You know, I
Yeah.
spoke about online profile. Abi. Search for
Yes.
Demola Adeogun. If you don't see me,
Exactly.
please um, go
What's
to
it
Mr.
called?
Fresh and beat him
Demola
up.
Ademola Adeogun. If you can't find him,
Demola,
what's it called?
not
DM me. DM me
not
on WhatsApp.
Ademola, not Ademola
Yeah,
Adeogun.
Demola Adeogun. Yeah, yeah.
So is
Demola
it
Adeogun without the first A.
see my online digital footprint?
Exactly. Demola
Search for
Adeogun.
Demola Adeogun. So I was
Let
intentional.
me
There are many
spell it
Demola
out.
Adeogun. All right. So let me just answer some questions that we have here while we round up. Is the process of working on my portfolio, must I add my educational background? No, you don't have to add your educational background. He added his CV with his portfolio. So CV and portfolios are two different things, but he just meshed everything together. That's the sample I showed you. So you can have your CV separately, and you can have what we call your portfolio separately. For me, I don't even have a physical portfolio like he has. Are you getting now? Sorry, because I have a lot of experience. Are you getting now? So
I know,
you
right?
get so what I just have is just my Bayers page. So what I did for me that I will not advise you to do, please. I won't advise you to do. The role I was applying for were senior roles. Do you understand? So what I will advise you to do, what I did was on my CV, there's a link to my Bayers page. So, but what I would advise you to do is have your CV, put your link to your Bayers page on your CV, then have what's your portfolio. You understand? Separately. You get what I'm saying right now. Me, if anybody asks for my portfolio, I send them my Bayers page. You get my, but please, you don't do
Yeah.
that. You get send them your portfolio directly. Please don't do that. You get some things are excuse for some senior roles that might not be excuse for
Hmm.
you get people that are just coming in. All right. So the next thing is that please can I have the PDF of the portfolio? I said that earlier on. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I have to take permission. If it gives me permission to share, I will do that. You understand? Demola on every platform. Demola doing on every platform. Yeah, I'm actually Demola doing on every platform. All right. As an intern in a company, do employees pay stipends? Now, it depends on the organization. Some startups don't really pay for interns. Do you get? Because most of them are just starting and they're hustling. Do you get? But there are some well-established startups that pay interns. But this is what I always tell people, right? Do what you want to get. Do what you have. Use what you have to get what you want. If you see an organization and you realize that this organization has what I need, are you getting that? You can apply to internship with them for free. You get if you know. So I'm giving an example right now. You walk past an organization and you see that this organization has a strong UI UX presence. Send them a mail and tell them that you want to intern with them. If they tell you that you cannot pay and you have the financial prowess, are you getting that to pay for your transport? Do that. You are going to again what the experience that you need them. Do you understand? So we have seen interns that intern organization for free that eventually start working in that organization and they are
Mm-hmm.
leading in that organization as we speak. Do you get what I'm saying right now?
Actually,
So,
my
but
own my own idea on internship actually is like if you if you are going for to intern in an organization, I think the motive should not be the payment you get. It should be what you learn, because as a matter of fact, there are places you go for internship that they pay you, but they don't release secrets to you. They don't allow you to learn anything. They just pay you stipends. So at the end of the day, what they are paying you is not even worth your time, and you are not even there to learn. So to me, I feel like when you want to apply for internship, first thing that should be on your mind is what are you going to learn from this place, rather than what they are going to pay you.
pay you. You
Yeah.
understand? So it's very key. So once you know that they can pay you, I'm sorry, once you know that it's a very good learning environment, even if they're not going to pay you, please still go for it. Do you get what I'm saying right now? And just give yourself a time frame. Please always have a vision. You understand? So when you join the organization, you'll be like, as I'm joining this organization, in the next, I'm trying to remember why I did that. I think I did that somewhere. Oh, sorry, I did that in church. Do you get when I joined my department in church where I was, I gave myself that in the next is in less than a year, I would be one of the leading people in that organization. Now, not leading people as in place of leadership. I mean leading people in knowing how to do everything in that department. It's a technical department, it's a media department, knowing how to do everything. So that made me available when nobody's available. When it's time for setup, I'm always there. When it's time to do this, I'm always there because I wanted to learn. So as an intern too, when it's time to get things done, you're there. When it's time to set up this, you are there. Even when it's time to come on Saturday, you show face. Why? Because what you know why you are there, and you have given yourself 6 months. You understand? Because you want know what you want to come and learn. Do you get what I'm trying to? So it's very important. In the process of working on my portfolio, must I add my education background? No. I think I've answered that question earlier on. All you need to do is just to what's the word? All you need to do basically is just to have your CV. You can is in your CV. Your CV is what contains what your educational what background. Your portfolio is separate. Do you understand? But some people merge it together, so I will just send the two together. Basically. All right. So do we have another question? Mr. Dafresh, over to you, sir.
All right, guys. If there are no other question, I would like to say that it has really been an insightful one, a value packed, and I mean, we have learned a whole lot tonight. And what's it called? The replay is going to be up for others, for those who were unable to join us live. They'll be able to access the replay, and everyone else will be impacted as well. Mr. Demola Adeogun, thank you very much for honoring our invites and doing this for us tonight. See late comers then. Latecomer, Dabone, Christian Dabone, you are a latecomer. We are we are already rounding up before you come, but don't worry, you are going to have access to the replay of this session. So, ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to actually go and connect with Mr. Demola Adeogun for on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I think LinkedIn as well. Yeah, Demola Adeogun on all social media platform. Demola Adeogun on all social media platform. And do well to follow Design Beyond Arts on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Um, Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well, and turn on your notification button so that when the replay of this class is uploaded, it's going to be uploaded as a premiere, so you can also join the premiere also live and still have some so that you can have an experience of live session like we have right now. And that is how we are going to call it a night. Thank you very much for tuning in. I go by the name Damlola, but you can call me Da Fresh. And bye for now. Bye for now. Thank you very much, sir. Really appreciate. So you can start leaving the class. Praise. Kindly wait
Thank you.
behind. Kindly wait behind. Praise. Yeah.
All right, sir.
All right. So for those of you here, praise is actually one of the is actually part of what's it called? Premium mentorship, right? That's one of the reasons why I asked her to wait behind. She's going to be having coaching call immediately after this class. That's one of the reasons why I asked her to wait behind. For those of you who might want to have access to that as well, you can message me on WhatsApp to inquire for premium mentorship. It's going to be more personal and more detailed conversation between you and I. And we're also planning to have a premium group for everybody separately too. But that will be coming in later. Right now, it's still a one-on-one thing for everybody. For those who have also purchased the graphic design course. So you guys will have access to that premium group when it is created, not one on one. So you understand that premium coaching group when it's created, you guys will have access to it. But if you want one on one coaching, like the one I'm going to be having with Praise tonight, please send me a private message on WhatsApp and then we'll talk about it. So with that said, please okay, thank you very much, Andrew. You're already a follower of Design Beyond Art. Thank you very much. I appreciate you for that. All right, so you guys can leave so that I and Praise can have our our chat. Yeah, thank you very much. All right, Praise. How have you been doing?